Hi everybody, welcome to Family Fitness. I've got a couple of rules and regulations I want to discuss with you. Note, this is only for the Avion Park gym, not the Norcom Park. They have a different set of rules. So listen up and enjoy. I just want to introduce you quickly. This is Renee, my right-hand man, or should I say my right-hand lady, as you can see. We're going to take a quick look at the way that the memberships work, and it's important for us to let you know all the ins and outs of the membership agreements, and Renee is here to help us with those things today. And the first thing that comes to mind, one of the most important things, is the double debit. The double debit happens every year on the 1st of December, am I correct? End of November, 1st of December.
That's correct.
So on the sort of end of November, 1st of December, somewhere around there, is a double debit on your membership. Please note that this double debit is not a 12th payment for the year, it's a 13th payment. So in other words, there are 13 debits that go for each year. The next thing I want to quickly discuss is the 10% escalation, and that happens on the anniversary of your membership agreement. So if you joined on the 1st of June, a year later on the 1st of June, your membership will go up by 10%. Now, while we're on that subject, I want to quickly discuss the promises made by salespeople. If a salesperson says that he can do this or that for you and it's not in your membership agreement, it is illegal. It can't happen. The only thing that you can work with is the membership agreement that's emailed to you once you join the club. Have you found in the past that salespeople have made promises to members, and then when the salesperson has now left the company, 6 months later, the member comes in and says, yeah, well, he didn't say anything about the 10% escalation or the double debit in December, for example, or maybe he promised free personal training services. Have you found that type of thing in the past?
Yeah.
And how does it affect things? I know from my side, what happens is it makes the company look bad. This is an arrangement that's made between the member that's joined the club and the salesperson. We weren't present at point of sale, and then it makes us look bad because the member and the salesperson did this deal that has got nothing to do with the contract or anything like that. I think right now we can't really think of any incidents, but it has happened in the past, eh?
Yeah.
What's the story with the swimming pool? You were mentioning something earlier on,
on
about the swimming pool.
On Thursdays we close between 12 and 3 to clean the pool.
Is that 12 in the afternoon, of course? So before 12, after 3 o'clock, there's no use. Is the door actually locked and so on?
We don't really lock it, but we ask members not to swim during those hours.
Yeah, I think with us being a 24-hour health club, you know, some parts of the gym have to be closed down for cleaning, which brings us also onto the pool in the winter season.
Yes.
The swimming pool is completely closed.
Yes.
Is it June and July?
Yes.
In the winter.
Yeah.
And the main reason for that is, even though the water is heated, the ambient temperature outside is quite cold, and so we find that the use of the swimming pool is almost non-existent during that June and July because of the cold. And with a pool running 24 hours days with those massive heat pumps, it's a very costly exercise to run a swimming pool in winter, especially when nobody's actually using it. Is there anything else from the administration that you want to say about the 10% debit or the double debit at this point?
No, not that. What I wanted to discuss was some members make payments at reception, and so when it comes to our debit order file, it's a problem. So our debit order file goes to ABSA every month, around about the 20th.
Okay.
So what that means is that all the accounts go into a file. This file is then sent to ABSA.
Yeah.
So if anything happens on the accounts after that the file's been sent to ABSA, we can't do anything. So in other words, we'll get people that will make payments on, say, after the file's gone to ABSA, so say maybe the 21st or 22nd. We can't credit those accounts, which means that the debit order will still be requested.
And that means they would have paid cash and they would have paid a debit order.
100%.
So what is the solution? So now let's say now I've come to pay cash because something's happened in my account.
Yeah.
I've given my $200 to the reception lady, they've given me a receipt. But at that point, the 21st or the 22nd, the debit order's already been sent to the bank. We've already said to the bank, please, can you collect this money from this client?
The debit order's going to be requested.
It's going to be requested.
Yes.
Now that debit order goes off in that client's account.
Yes.
Okay, this is the type of thing that can happen. What's the solution? How do you refund the member after that?
Some members will ask for a refund. Sometimes we'll just credit the account.
Okay, so it's not a case of, well, we took your cash over the counter and your debit order went off and we can now go for lunch at some beautiful restaurant somewhere in Johannesburg.
No.
Because if we do that with 5,000 members, we can do quite well, can't we?
Yes.
So, but of course we don't do that. So guys, I think it's important that if there's an administrative problem with your account, you've paid twice, you've paid 3 times, or maybe your debit order didn't go through, remember that it's not the end of the world. It's a case of coming in and saying, the debit order went off twice, here's my statement. It's simple. We do an EFT straight back into your account. And I must just say that my admin department is super sharp. I mean, I don't think people know that every single phone call is recorded when it comes in. Everything that the member says at the counter, if there's an issue with a debit order or something happens in the club, all those comments are recorded on your profile. It's in the comment section on our computer system. So dating back 10, 15 years or whatever it is, we can say what the person told us at any given time when there was an issue, just by going back to the comments and saying, at 14:31, that's what the client said, this is what the salesman said, that is what the reception did, and the whole history. So we've got a really, really super sharp administrative system. It does sometimes go pear-shaped because a member might pay late, they might want to pay double, cancellation of a membership after the debit order was sent, small stuff like that, but don't sweat it. It's as easy as coming into the club or making a phone call to one of the ladies and they will sort you out really, really sharp. The other issue that we quickly needed to deal with was the non-payment of membership fees. It sometimes happens where a member will owe R7.50. Another time it could be 800 Rand. But for years and years we let it slide. If the amount was small, then we'd say, just let the member carry on and train, it's not an issue. But that has brought along a massive, massive administrative headache. And one of the ways of keeping our gym fees down is to run a very smooth admin department. And so we don't want to get to a point where we're hiring more and more staff to run the admin. So we had to get to a point where we say, if a person owes 7 Rand or 100 Rand or 400 Rand, there cannot be access into the club. And that is because it creates a lot of confusion for the receptionists or the reception. A guy will come in and say, it's only a small amount. And the small amount to him is 300 Rand. A small amount to someone else is only 8 Rand. So there had to come a point where we say, if there's an amount owing, then we have to get that money in first before we allow access, not because of being money hungry or anything like that. It really is an administrative problem when we don't get those things sorted out. A client the other day came into one of the clubs and said, look man, it's only 9 Rand. How can you not give me access for 9 Rand? And then the receptionist said, well, it is only 9 Rand. Don't you have 9 Rand in your ashtray in your car possibly? Quickly fix it, fetch it so that we can sort this problem out once and for all. But the computer systems don't know the difference between 50 cents and 1,000 Rand or 500 Rand. So if my payment hasn't been made, it isn't up to date, unfortunately the receptionist cannot allow the people to go in. There was something else that you wanted to talk about.
I wanted to just mention quickly.
Because it's not just the money side of it, eh? It's
but before I get to that, I just wanted to mention the debit dates. Okay.
Debit dates?
Dates, yes.
Is that when the debits go off?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So people will select a debit date. We've got the 1st, the 15th, and then the end of the month. Mm-hmm. Okay. If the debit date falls on a weekend or a public holiday, it will only get deducted the next working day.
But what you, sorry man, just to interrupt you there, what you're basically saying is, if you've signed for a debit over 150 Rand and you're keeping books on your account, that 150 Rand should be laying there ready for the debit, whether it is the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th.
100%.
Because what we do sometimes find is, we'll say to a member, am I right? We'll say to a member, your debit goes off on the 25th. On the 27th, something happens at the bank. The bank shuts down, or there's a massive computer issue, and we can't collect that debit order on the 25th. We don't know, something goes wrong. And the member will just spend the 150 Rand and not leave the money in the account.
Yes.
Then we try to get the debit on the 3 or 4 days later. It bounces. Then there's a debit order fee. Now there's an administrative issue. I think basically what you're saying is, like your rent and your water and lights and your car payment, your insurance, the gym fee should be sort of accounted for in there, and make sure that you just leave it in case we take that debit
Yes.
3 or 4 days later because
Yes.
of an admin problem, you know.
Yeah.
You were mentioning something about documentation. I mean, I suppose more so than the money, this is the big issue. It's when people haven't signed certain documentations, eh?
Yeah, it's not necessarily signed. Sometimes we have people like a husband that will pay for a wife, or a boyfriend that will agree to pay for a girlfriend or whatever.
When you say agree, in other words, they're now dating for 2 or 3 months. He loves her very, very much.
Yes.
He wants her to get into shape because he wants her to look the best that she possibly can.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
So he's out there, he's all motivated, inspired, and he joins her
Yeah.
up, and then he pays for her, and he says, okay, I will off my account pay your 250 Rand a month.
That's right.
So then she comes along and says, my boyfriend says he'll pay for me.
Yes.
So now you can't go along and just sort of take money out of his account.
No.
So you've got to get a letter from him saying, I'll
Permission
give you
letter.
permission
Yes.
to take money off my account.
100%. That's
So-
one scenario. There's different scenarios.
Yeah,
but
lots
that's
of
the
them, yeah.
gist of it.
Yeah. So, okay, so now it comes along and the lady now starts training. We didn't get the permission letter because we're trying to be nice, we're trying to be accommodating.
Yeah.
2 months later,
Yeah.
the relationship doesn't work.
100%.
Now he comes along.
Says, I never said you can deduct my account.
Yeah,
Use
yeah.
my account, yes.
And then we say, but he said, and then he said, but she said. And he said, she said.
Yes.
And the next thing you know, we're in trouble because
Yes.
we took money from an account that we weren't
100%.
allowed to do.
Yes.
Okay. So the only way to sort that out really is before a member gets access into the club or anything is done, all documentations must be signed and sealed. Are there any documentations that you've got that a member has to sign or agree to?
No,
that
no,
you've
no.
That I'm saying that you've done for the fun of it, that has no purpose.
That we've done for the fun of it.
Yeah, just for the fun of it. Like we say, let's make it like difficult and make them sign 3 papers or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
You've done nothing like that.
No.
Is every single form that needs to be signed and approved within the law and for a
Yes.
very, very good reason?
100%,
Okay,
yes.
guys. I'm not very much an administration person. That's why I've got these pros doing it. Every single piece of paper is of utmost importance. So please, we're not trying to make life difficult. There's reason behind every single.
That's just one of it. We also need, sometimes we need proof of bank. When members join, we do account verifications to make sure that the account actually belongs to the member, obviously to curb fraud and so forth. There's certain accounts that we can't do account verifications on though, so we need proof of account. And that is why we don't give the people access until we have all the documentation, because it's so important.
Yeah, no, I think also, you know, there's 2 things. You're basically trying to look after that specific member, that it is maybe not money taken off someone's account who we've never met, who doesn't,
Yes.
they're just like a fraud thing, you know.
Yes.
And we've got a massive responsibility
100%.
towards that. By the way, just so that you know, members' information, credit card details, bank details, name, surname, telephone, all of that type of thing, is 100% against company policy when it comes to giving that stuff out to other members. Whether it's an insurance company trying to buy your details, and listen, we get that on a regular basis. With 12,000 members on our books, we're often getting people phoning and saying, please, can we buy your database? I want you to understand that under no circumstances is that allowed. And if I'd ever caught a staff member doing that, for sure I'll phone the police and have him locked up, because it's against
Yes.
the laws, etc. It's a privacy thing now with FICA and all of
Yeah.
that type of thing. It's quite a serious thing. As far as administration is concerned, just quickly, when a member joins, they don't actually sign a contract, do they?
No.
But we've looked into all the legalities of that,
Yes,
am I right?
yes.
They've got their photograph on the computer that
Yes,
they take.
yeah.
That's part of the system.
Yes.
They get SMS to their cell phone number, a specific code to say that
Yes.
that's a temporary number. They are emailed the contract as well.
Yes, but when they do the online, at the bottom it says agree to terms and conditions.
Yeah.
You have to agree to the terms and conditions. Like when you buy something online, say through Loot or whatever, one of these places, you have to agree to the terms and conditions. Then you'll receive a copy of the contract or the application and the terms and conditions. And by law, they have 7 days.
To cancel.
5 or 7 days cooling off period.
That's another thing. You talk about the 7 days. That's of utmost importance.
Yeah.
You know, life has changed over the last couple of years with the Consumer Protection Act. You've got a 7-day cooling off, which means within 7 days you can cancel this contract that you took. So if you joined the gym this morning, or 5 days ago, 6 days ago, you can still cancel this membership agreement. And I think we're both in agreement. Well, all of us here, especially me. I don't ever want a person to have a forced membership with us.
No, not at all.
He must want to be here.
Yes.
If he doesn't want to be here, then why would you force it? And for that reason, after 7 days, if he wants to cancel, we reserve those membership fees. We keep the contract one side. It's almost pending. You can start training straight away. But if they want to cancel within 7 days, we do it. Hey?
Yeah.
But that now comes back to the cancellation fee.
Yeah.
Because the Consumer Protection Act protects you, the client, which is stunning. It's worked for me. When I bought cars once or twice and I had to give them back because it was just duds. You just walk back in and give the car back and they've got to give you the money back. That's nice about the CPA, and it also works for you in the gym industry. What they say is that there has to be a reasonable cancellation fee when the person joins. When the member joins up, we incur certain costs. There's administration, there's sales commissions, there's taxes, there's all that kind of stuff, costs that we incur. And so when the person joins, when he wants to cancel at a much later stage, the cancellation fee is 38%. So if you had joined for a year and you've now trained for 7 months and you've got 4 months left over, you pay 38% of the 4 months that's left over in your membership agreement, which isn't all that much anyway. Yeah. It's a reasonable amount. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing which I love about Family Fitness is the fact that you do not get a membership card when you join the club. It's amazing because when you have a card, you've got to carry that card wherever you go, or the ski ring. Sometimes you've got 2 or 3 cards. You've got a card on this ski ring, you use a different motor car, you get to the gym, you can't find it, you lose it, it gets stolen. And every time you get that card goes missing, you've got to buy a new card. I think they can go up to 150, 200 rand sometimes for a new card. So I try to save you that cost, and I gave you a PIN number. The PIN number you just keep up here like your bank, hey?
Yeah, just memorize the number.
Yeah, just memorize the number. But there's a downside. The downside to it is Peter joins the gym. He gets his membership number. His photograph is then put onto the computer system. And then 3 or 4 days later, or a month later, Peter says to his wife, use my number to go and train. And then his wife then gives it to her friend and says, use my number to go and train. Suddenly you've got 20, 30 people working on one membership number. This is
banned.
It's fraud.
Immediately.
It is 100% fraud. You cannot do that. Your membership PIN number is specific to you. Of course, you can understand why. I mean, if it wasn't, I could sell one membership to one person and 100 people could train. What would the point of the business be, I suppose, eh? Eh? This is like as easy as that. You know what issues we've had before? A member comes and joins. You, the member, don't know how the system works in the background. You don't know what our account details are, etc. We've had salespeople in the past that give you their account number. So you come and you join the club and they'll say, okay, can you take the joining fee and your monthly membership fee and please deposit that into this account number? And it's his personal bank account number. And I just think that you as a member must have a look and make sure that the money is going into a Family Fitness account number, and you get your receipt at the reception and not to Joe Soap's account. It's like a bit, if it goes to the salesperson, you know that something is wrong. So I think it's important that you get your receipt. If there's anything funny going on, you're not quite sure if it smells like a rat, then I think maybe phone the gym and let us know. Nothing today is impossible. Some of the most amazing salespeople that I've had, incredible personalities, brilliant salesmen, have also been the most devious lot that we've ever had. You can't believe that we have to deal with this nowadays. But yes, if you find something, just give us a call. I wanted to get into the rinsing of bottles in the water coolers. Yeah. Bodybuilders, a lot of members use these little containers, and in there they put a powder, and they put some water in there, shake it up, yeah, they shake it. They drink their shake, and then before they go home, they take that bottle and they shove it into the water fountain, mix it up, and they throw that down into the water cooler. That water cooler isn't made for drainage, it's made just for water. And we'll have that water cooler sorted out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 6:30 it's completely blocked because 20 people have cleaned they rinsed their powder and whatever in that thing. I think just maybe use the bathrooms or something like that. Speaking of water, I want to get to the showers very, very quickly. Guys, when you shower in the morning, I've got to ask, don't shave in the showers. Let's jump in the shower, wash hair, jump out, brush your teeth at the basin, shave at the basin. That shaving and that brushing of teeth is an extra 5-6 minutes. Times 50 to 100 members in the morning, the water will get cold. No geyser can handle the pressure of 100 people in the morning and each person taking a 20-minute shower. We've worked it out. One shower, I've done it myself. I get into the shower, I have a good shower. Don't shave in the shower. Don't brush my teeth in the shower. My teeth?
Teeth?
My teeth. I don't brush my teeth in the shower. And that takes me 2.5 minutes and I'm done. When I shave and I'm getting that perfect spot and I'm brushing teeth and it's cold, I'm standing there, it's 15 minutes.
Yes.
Times it by 150, 200 members in the morning, no geyser can take it. By the time 6 o'clock comes, water's ice cold.
No. And especially in winter, we have that problem where people just stand, I think, just to warm up.
I once had a personal trainer go and stand in the shower for 30 minutes to warm up at 4:30 in the morning. And by the time people got there 5 to shower, it was done. And you know what else? Hey, how's this? I have people coming to the gym just to shower. They don't train. They don't shower, don't. They come here at 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't know if they don't have water at home or what it is, but you'll have people coming in just to have a shower. It's incredible. But if you do see stuff like that, please let us know. I'd rather cancel that membership if the guy's just coming in for a shower. Sweat towels.
Oh, that's very important.
A sweat towel. You know, I've got a thing about a sweat towel and sweat on the bench. Nobody likes it. It's a mental thing. Everybody hates going onto a bench where someone has been lying and sweating like terribly. Yet we play rugby, we play soccer.
Yeah.
There's sweat all over the place. And you know, there's a sweaty interaction in so many different sports. And somehow in the gym industry, it's taboo.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's the end of the world if there's sweat. But what I can tell you, when you don't use a sweat towel, I guarantee there are members around that are frowning, that are freaking out, that are hating it. And they look at you and they just make these comments and so on. So I have to urge you guys to use sweat towels. It's unhygienic not to use one. It's been a problem across the world for years. People don't use sweat towels and members frown upon it. Which brings me to the packing away of weights. The packing away of weights is something that happens in every club in South Africa and in the world. Having been in this industry for 35 years, I promise you, they destroy the club. Students will come into the gym in an afternoon, each will take a 10-kilo weight, one put the gym that side, other one goes that side. The 20s are there, people are coming to train, they're falling over weights. We try and keep it clean, but you can't. If you've got 150, 200 people training, I can't even catch the guy who's not packing his weights away. They drop weights, down, destroy the weights, leave them lying around, and that is not a reflection on us. It shouldn't be, because I mean we try and keep it tidy. Have you been into the club and see what it looks like with the weights lying around? I mean, I can't believe that someone will take a 20-kilogram weight in the professional weight, in a weight section, carry it to the other side of the gym,
or outside,
do curls outside, and then leave it.
Just leave it.
He could do the curls right there. Why does he take it there, then leave it there? It blows my mind. But the non-packing of weights away is just ridiculous. But I don't know how to control it. There's nothing you can do.
Implement the fining system again.
You can put a fining system in, but you know what happens then?
I know,
then you upset the member.
I know.
You just upset the member, and we're not in the business of upsetting members. But if you don't fine him and he continues, he upsets the other member. A bit of a catch-22, hey? But it's a headache.
It's a problem. Big problem.
How do you feel about that? Are you side of the mic? The next thing, cars in the parking lot. Members come to the gym, 5 o'clock in the morning, have a nice workout for an hour. They walk outside, they leave the car there, they catch a lift with a buddy, down to the train, and on their way they go to work. Leave the car there for the day. Security looks out.
We've had it where they've left the car over a weekend.
Over the weekend, just come in, park, security looks after it. Now, you know what, if one guy did it, fine. But now imagine if everybody decided, well, this will be the new train drop-off. Where are you going to park the member when you come here 5 o'clock at night, get 200 cars in the parking bay, you'll have nowhere to park. I clamp the wheels. We do charge for parking. It's 800 Rand a day. Anything else? Standing in the showers we've done. Water issues. Council, sometimes we have water issues, we have no pressure in the showers. Nothing we can do about that. It's a council issue. It doesn't happen all the time, it does happen. But when the water pressure is down, trust me, I didn't go outside and somehow turn the tap so that I've reduced the pressure in the water. In fact, I try and get it higher and higher and higher. It's normally a problem with council. The next thing, we don't answer, our phones are off between 8 o'clock at night and 6 in the morning.
I think it's 6, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. If our phones aren't answered between that time, it's because we do leave an answering service there. And sometimes if the phones are down, it really is, I don't want to blame Telkom. And I don't want to blame our service providers. But if my phones are down, it means I'm not getting calls. If I'm not getting calls, it means I don't make sales. It means someone wants to join the gym and they can't get through to me. So I'm way more upset about the phones that are off than you probably are, because we're losing deals. Yeah, that's the other thing. Security, guys, we do our best with security. Our absolute best. Take insurance on your car. Take a top up on your motor car. Don't leave your phones in your car or your iPads or your laptops, etc. Not just here. We live in South Africa. You know how bad it is. I've always said, I don't care if they steal anything of mine. I've got insurance, I've got top-up cover. If it's stolen, it's sold. As you know, we've got a gym, or some of you will know, we've got a gym out in Norcombe Park. Absolutely exquisite. And then we've got the one here at Avion. There's this thing called reciprocity. What that means is, if you join one gym, you can use the other gym. I don't have reciprocity. So if you join Family Fitness Avion, it's not to say that automatically you can use the other club. And the reason why I did that is because our membership fees are so low that on average, if you join this club and you then go and join the other club, the combination of the two fees is still much, much, much cheaper than what the other groups are doing. I didn't want to go along and say, well, I'll give you this option of using 2 gyms and then just triple the fee and say you can now use both, and then instead of paying 140 Rand a month or 200 Rand a month, you're now paying 800 Rand a month. And then, I don't want to use the word con, or that's the wrong word to use. I just wanted to be transparent and do it the right way. Kind of like if you buy a McDonald's burger in Kempton and you want another McDonald's burger in Bloemfontein, you don't get one for free there, you pay for that one. This way, it works out a hell of a lot cheaper for you to join this club and that club if you wanted to use both gyms. So we don't have a reciprocity. So please, if ever a salesperson promised that you could use both clubs, he was lying. Once again, the contract, what's in the membership agreement, I don't like calling it a contract, membership agreement, friendship agreement, I suppose. What's in there counts. If it's not in there, it doesn't count. It cannot be a he said, she said, and I was there those days. And that's why I'm making the videos, to make that clear. Is there anything else that you want to discuss, Avi? I mean, oh yeah, you know what? I've got something here called dirty floors. I freak out when I walk into the gym and the floors are dirty, but it's something I can't get away from because it's not really dirty. What happens is we've got this massive field outside that the members use. Now, strictly speaking, it's not part of Family Fitness. It's part of the landlord's land. But we do cut that grass and we do keep it tidy, and members do use it and so on. We close access to that field when it gets dark at night for security purposes. But the gym will be perfectly clean at 4 o'clock in the morning. And 5:30, there's grass on the floor, and there's this and there's that, because there's been a lot of activity. People run around the field, amazing. The grass has been cut. It's a bit wet, so they walk back into the club, and so there's grass lying all over. And I used to go mad when I saw it. But then I realized, look, it's the peak hour from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the morning. It is peak hour, and things will get what we call untidy, and there'll be grass, and there'll be a towel lying there, and a cup, and so on. But I suppose that's just the nature of the business. So I mean, we're not exactly running. What kind of other business is it with? So we're not running a surgery, I suppose, or a hospital. It's where people come and they train and they mess and they do this in that peak hour. So in the peak hours, guys, when you see there's grass on the floor or something, please note it happened 5 minutes ago, and I'm not going to be there running after every time you put some grass and picking it up. I mean, there's no point in that. We have to have fun. We have to have a workout and train, as long as the gym is, what do you want to call it, hygienic. It's hygiene.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have like dust all over the place and sweat and all of that, and it hasn't been cleaned for a month.
Yeah.
A bit of grass here and there, and a cup lying around and so on, that's normal.
Yeah.
But it's not dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. When you join the gym, you get your membership agreement emailed to you. The membership agreement is on the website.
Important that they give us the right email address.
Oh,
and,
yes.
and update information. Sometimes people change their phone numbers or whatever, and then we can't get hold of them.
Yeah, and you know, I email. I mean, today what we do is when anything happens, I email everybody. I send like a bulk email and say, on Saturday we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger coming to the gym, or I'll send you an email and say, listen, the sound system blew up, there's no aerobics class on Monday, or whatever it is. If I can't get hold of you via email, you won't get that information. So I think your email address is of utmost importance. And I don't just send emails just for summer, you know, I just...
important.
Only the important stuff, or lekker stuff, you know. Let's say there's some new surgery that's out, and I feel it's important to share the surgery. And then I might send an email and say, hey, did you know that you can now do this for a medical thing? Maybe you didn't know. Now you go to the wrong doctor who's not up to date with that stuff, and you could have the latest stuff. So if your email isn't right, you lose out. The music. Some people like gumchi, gumchi, gumchi rave. Other people like the rock and roll. People have Christian music, and they like classic. You know, we can't cater for everybody at one time. We've got from 14 years of age to 85 years of age over here. It's very difficult. The most common is like a bit of a beaty type music, you know, some remixed stuff. But what we're finding is members will go to that volume button when he's 19 and you'll jam it until the windows are nearly blasting off, and then 5 minutes later somebody else will go on and turn it right down, and then we will go and put it at a sort of nice level, and then it's just up and down like this.
Can't allow that.
We can't allow it. If you wanted music changed or up or down or something, go to reception, they'll do it for you quickly.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to find playlists and so on. It's not an easy thing, but we do try our best, you know, to keep that going nicely.
Everybody happy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got personal trainers that want to train members. They can't have the music so loud.
Yeah.
But the personal trainer can't also expect the music to be off, because other people don't have a personal trainer, they want to go with a beat.
Yeah.
And if the music is too loud in the gym, I've got a quiet area called the TV area. There's no music allowed in there. I don't even allow MTV in there. When you go into the TV room, you can decide if you want to watch sport, the news, National Geographic, all of that. But in the TV room, there's no music. So if it's too loud this side, pop in that side. There's all the equipment is there if they want to do it. Eh? The most important thing, I think, is if it's not a membership agreement, don't believe it. It gets emailed to you, and you also get like an SMS. There is like a little PIN number also.
Yeah, that's the sign-up reference number. That's not the membership number.
Yeah, and legally you don't have to sign your membership agreement for it to be in force. As long as we have your photograph in the club, if we have all of those details, we can prove that you were here and that you actually signed up and that you were emailed, etc., and you didn't cancel this in 7 days, it's all legal. I mean, we've done all the homework on like that. Because we find someone saying, I never joined, I was never there.
Yeah.
Meantime, there's his photograph, there's his ID number, his work number, everything is over there.
Yes.
You know? And more often than not, it's just this person who wants to get out of the membership agreement should just come and say, I want out.
Yes.
And how simple is that? We work together. No? Is that it?
I think so.
No? Some coffee.
Okay.